G'day everyone. If you've been watching my previous videos, you will have heard me a few times raving about the great benefits of a SOG system. But if you've missed that, listen up. Fitting a SOG system to your cassette toilet system is absolutely the best accessory you'll ever fit. Hey, all you wives out there, can you ever imagine hubby doing a job and you never smelling odours? And all the hubbies out there, can you ever imagine the same? Well, I can guarantee your life will smell like a bunch of roses from now on. I'm actually down at old mate Harry's place trying to save his marriage, and I reckon the SOG system will certainly do the trick. No, I'm only joking, he's not old. All right, enough of the bad attempt at comedy, Doug, let's get on with it. So it's no more than an extraction fan which connects to the cassette via a hose, and the exhaust fan is mounted on the outside of the service door and is activated when you open the cassette flap and immediately starts extracting the odours. It's so effective that it's guaranteed 100% odour free, and I can personally vouch for that. In addition, you'll never need to use chemicals ever again. And if that's not enough, if you ever get stuck and you can't find a dump pit, and believe me, it can happen, well, you can empty the cassette toilet into a normal toilet system. In the past, I've installed a few SOGs, and it's a pretty simple job. However, please note, there's quite a few different cassette types on the market, all of which have slight different variations on the SOG, although the basics behind the installation still remain the same. So today I'm going to show you how to do a complete installation on a Dometic CT3000 or CT4000, both of which are the same installation, and most importantly, I'm going to break down the dismal excuse they give you for an installation guide. Alrighty, let's get a move on. So righto, let's take a look at what this kit includes. Firstly, we've got the exhaust fan, which mounts on the outside of the service door. It connects to a hose, and that hose goes off to the actual cassette itself. We've got a wiring loom, we've got a spare plug, and that plug's used to put in the cassette when you go to dump it so that you don't get any overflow of fluids coming out of the cassette. This is a coupler flange here which we'll be modifying the cassette with. And one of the most important parts is this little magnet here. This is the magnet that will turn on and off that particular fan. When you pull the cassette flap out, it activates a reed switch, this magnet does, and that activates the fan. And naturally, when you close it, it deactivates it all. So this magnet, very important to note, it's got a silver side and a black side, all of that which will become evident shortly. And outside on the service door, we've got this particular casing that mounts there with this carbon impregnated filter that fits inside there. Cover goes over the outside. That's as neat as it's going to look on the outside of the service door. So, okay, without any further ado, I think we'll get into modifying the cassette first. The first thing we're going to do when we modify the cassette is we're going to remove this pressure relief valve here, and we're going to simply slip in this coupling that comes with the actual kit itself. Just goes in, turns around, and that's it, that's finished. Now while we're at it, we've got this spare plug, as I said, that's used for when you're going to empty the cassette, otherwise it'll all pour out of there. So I'm just going to simply cable tie it to the handle here so we don't lose it. Cut a bit of the excess off there to make it look neat. That's that. The next part is we have to fit that magnet, which will be the device that activates the reed switch. So what we do then is simply just turn this around. We have to open up the flap, which means that you've got to release these little levers here, and underneath here, and we might put that plug in right in now, I think, Harry, so we don't get anything out. If we look underneath here, we've got 4 screws that we have to take out. Okay, lift that flap off, the screws are out now. We can simply now just lift those up, remove that, and now this is when the magnet goes in. This little hole that's already pre-drilled here, and the black side goes in first. So that just pushes in till it's level with the outside like that, nice and neat. And now all we need to do is to put a blob of silicone on this particular thing here, just so it doesn't slip and come back out. And then we're ready to put it back together, and the cassette's finished. There we go. The cassette's now complete, nothing else to do. So we'll move on to installing the fan. Firstly, we have to temporarily put the cassette back in, and we have to measure the height as to where the fan's going to sit on this service door. So to do that, just grab a ruler or something like this, and we need to put it on the cassette like you can see there, so we get that level. And we need to close the door so it's touching the door. And then we need to put a mark about where that is, right? And then we need to put a mark up 20 mil, and I'm just going to guess 20 mil. That's close enough. It doesn't have to be millimetre perfect. So that is the height of the fan. Now we have to measure in a certain distance. And the distance, they say, is approximately 75 millimetres. Okay, so if we put that line across there, that there now is hopefully going to be the centre point for where we have to bore the hole through the door. But I'm going to double check to make sure that when we do put it on the outside, that everything is okay. So I've just marked on the outside there, roughly where it will line up with the inside. And so far we're going to miss both of these particular sides of the door here. Then we'll measure down again from the top, and it measures about 130. 130 down is there. So roughly there is where the centre of the hole of the fan is going to come through. So if we grab this case, we just line that up with there, we can see that this is going to miss everything. So the fan will come through at approximately there, which is pretty good. So everything's clear for us to bore the hole. What else do we have to do? We have to make sure that the fan is not going to obstruct and get in the way of the cassette here at all. If we measure from this point here, which is the back of the door, inwards, we've got about 40 millimetres to spare. So providing that fan's not more than 40 millimetres, we've got no drama. And it just happens to be 35 millimetres. So that fan, once it's mounted on this door, is going to be about 5 millimetres off the cassette, which is all good. So, okay, we're now ready to bore the hole. And that's it. Hopefully it's in the right spot. So, double check there. That's where the fan will go. Just before we put the fan on, we just need a little thin bead of silicone around, nothing substantial, just so the odours don't leak back through the cavity. That'll do it. Now the only thing to remember now is when you're mounting this fan, that to keep the outlet flange facing slightly upwards, as you can see, and that'll just stop any liquids coming out and running out the front as well. So, simple matter of screwing that fan up. So that's the fan. See, it's poking through the other side there. Now it's just a matter of mounting the outside case. Any old wear will do really, as long as it's in the right spot. Put our mesh filter in. Let's tuck that neatly in there. Put the cover over the top and a couple of screws underneath the bottom there. That's it. But just before I leave the door section, this particular door here is around about 35 mil thick, which is exactly the thickness that this kit is designed for. However, a lot of the modern day caravans these days, the doors are only 3 to 4 mil thick. And in which case, what you'll have to do is make up a couple of spaces so that this fan comes off the door. I've just made a couple of spaces up out of some 16 mil PVC board. You can use whatever you like, I suppose. And then the fan, that would mount onto the door and the fan would mount onto that. Hence, you've got your 35 mil. But, and that's quite common. So just bear that in mind. It doesn't come with a kit, which is a bit of a pain, but that's just the way they're designed. So let's move on and see if we can get this 12 volt hooked up. All right, just before we do the 12 volt, I've decided just to hook the hose up. So the hose is just plugged into the cassette, which I'll show you again later. And I've just measured the hose to make sure that it folds in there quite neatly when it shuts. And that's about the length that we'll cut it to. And the hose just simply goes over the top of the flange for the fan there. and that should close quite neatly, and it does. So yeah, as I said before, the hose just simply plugs into the outlet, the receptacle we put into the toilet there. To remove it, put your plug in so it doesn't spill, and now we'll get on with the 12-volt wiring. So after we've located the little spigot up there that we screw the reed switch onto, it's just a matter of grabbing the receptacle that the reed switch goes into and to clip it into that fitting, like so, and then take the double-sided tape paper off the back. That'll help us position this before we put the screw in, and then we put it inside here up on that spigot. Grab the little screw, as you can see, and up in here, I don't know whether we can film this, it's a little bit difficult, but we'll see. There's a little hole there that we screwed that into. Like that. Okay, now it's just a matter of neatly looming this cable around the side here so it doesn't get tangled in any of the levers or anything like that. So that's what we use a lot of these little cable tie mounts for. After you've secured the cable with the supplied sticky mounts and cable ties, carefully route the loom through this cavity. And once you've done that, it's time to connect the 12-volt supply. There's a brown wire which is positive and a black wire which is negative. Now locate the cassette loom where you'll find the brown wire. This point is where we connect the brown wire from the SOG loom to. The black wire negative from the loom I connected to the white wire as you see above. They do give you some simple crimp connectors for these connections, but because I'm anal and have seen so many fail over the years, I'm going to solder these connections. It never fails. But let me pause here for a moment. As you see, these connections are pretty simple. However, the last SOG I fitted, which was exactly the same cassette, was somewhat different. All these wires that you see here, which are quite exposed and easy to identify, were encased in a loose fitting conduit. Hence, I had no idea where the brown wire was. And did the instructions tell me? No way. So if this happens to you, cut about an 80mm slit in the conduit so you can expose the wires. But be very careful when cutting, because as you can see, it's quite easy to cut through the internal wires. Alrighty, all we have to do now is to connect the fan wiring red to red and black to black, and finally tidy up all the wiring. Now that's it. All done. I hope you've enjoyed this video and got some great benefit out of it. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, you might like to check out some of my other valuable tips and tricks videos. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, if you like what you see, please make sure you click on that subscribe button and notification bell, and you'll be first to see what's coming next. We'll see you soon. Cheers for now.